Alright, so on my way home. So that was kind of cool. I'd never been to that before, and it looks like it's something that is for kind of Ottawa. It's kind of a cool thing that Ottawa did to make this Motorcycle Awareness Month starting May, and it's awesome to be down there to be part of it. So it was nice to see all the bikes out, and very cool indeed. So yeah, so now I'm heading home. We all kind of parted and are going our separate ways. So I'm on my way home all by my lonesome. Man, I hate downtown. I really do. I'm so happy to not have to come down here anymore. I used to work downtown, and I took the bus down here, but have to admit, I dislike downtown. I'm just not a congestion type kind of person, you know. Not a big fan of, you try to go one way somewhere and the route's all planned, you're doing good, and you can't go that way anymore, so you have to figure out what you're trying to do on the fly. Yep. Happy to not be here if not needed. So, leaving downtown makes me happy. Yeah, I don't know if you can see the roads. To see the abuse they took this winter. They're, this isn't just specific to this intersection, not by any means. They're bad like this all over. So, yeah, it's too bad. Hopefully they get all fixed up shortly, because those potholes come out of nowhere. And yeah, it sucks when you hit them. Especially sometimes you're going around a corner and it's just like bump, 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 which sucks. And I hope I come up here and everything is good. Not too sure where this guy thinks he's going. Well, wasn't that fun riding through the dirt? Oops. And the answer to that is no. No, it wasn't. I should have took that side. This looks closed. So I don't know if you guys can see the car in front of me. I hope so. If not, my camera's not doing its job. But on the bottom, on the bumper sticker, I don't know if you can see that. Keep an eye out for motorcycles. There it is. That's the thing for Motorcycle Month. Nice to see it out there. I think it's one of the first cars I've actually seen with the bumper sticker on it. So that's cool. Alright, so let's get back to this get together motorcycle awareness thing that I just came back from, or coming back from. One of the cool things that I saw there, and I actually picked some up, was, I guess it's an Ottawa-based company, that what they did, or what they're doing, and they were giving them out today, which was cool. Is it's like a medical bracelet type thing for motorcycle riders. So basically, it's a little little pouch that you get, and they have them in white and in black, and that pouch can stick to your helmet. So, for me, I'll probably put it on the back, so somewhere that um, is easy to see. If you were to get in an accident, the one thing that you hope is going to be intact, at least, is the helmet, or at least somewhat intact. And that little package or pouch or whatever it is, and it's not really large, inch and a half, 2 inches maybe wide by inch at tops, probably thick, so tall, and it contains all your medical information. So not just contact information and stuff like that, which is great to have in your wallet, but this is something that's right there on your helmet, and it contains all kinds of information, including blood type and all that stuff. So if you know that information, which surprisingly I don't, so it's information that I should probably be aware of and I should figure out. So that's definitely on my list next time I go to the doctors, to figure out what my blood type is. But yeah, so I picked up 2 of them. So they have a white one and a black one. So depending on which helmet, so on my half helmet, I'll stick the black one, and on this helmet, because it's a graphic style helmet, so it's got a lot of blacks, whites, and grays, then I'll stick the white one on there. But yeah, I think it's a really great idea, and it's surprising. It's always surprising when ideas come out and you're like, man, really, it took that long for somebody to think of that? It's not as if it was only in the last couple of years that people started riding motorcycles. Now it's only in the last couple of years that I started riding motorcycles. But, motorcycle riders have been around for a long time. But it's awesome to finally see things like this, things that if and when something bad were to happen like that, you hit the ground, you're immobilized, you're knocked out, you're whatever, someone can look at your helmet and get all kinds of personal information for you. So I think it was a great idea, and it was awesome that they were giving these away at the little motorcycle awareness gathering that was happening. I'm glad I went. It's good to show your support for things like that, things that you believe in, and things that are important to you, and making sure that we stand as a group. It was it was really good. I'm glad I went. It's only a couple hours out of your day, a couple hours out of your time, and I get a little ride out of it. That's always a perk. So yeah, and there was some cool little groups. So I'll post a video probably after this of a friend of mine, Bonnie, and she was demonstrating how to lift a bike if it falls over. So anything from getting into an accident, or just randomly having your bike fall over, the kickstand doesn't kick out, or whatever, how you can lift it. Now, Bonnie's not a petite girl, she's an average size woman, but her Harley is big. I would say that thing is easily between 900 and 1,000 pounds, and as she was saying, that's without any of the luggage full of stuff. So if you're carrying a whole bunch of stuff, it could be even heavier. And it was cool that she took, she was able to lift that bike up with the right technique without blowing your back out or anything like that. So awesome to see, really nice. So that was good information. It was also really nice to see some of the clubs there. Nice to see them talking about different kind of courses that people can take and what those courses do, why they're there. The experienced riding course, which is I guess something I wish I would have taken this year, possibly, but I'm going to definitely look at doing it next year, because next year as well, I want to write my M test. So You know, you get an M1, which is written, and M2, which is, I don't know, sort of like a learner's, I guess, sort of. And then after your M2, you can get your M. So yeah, next year I'll go for my M license. But I want to take that experienced rider's course first because it really gets into slow riding, you know, how to control the bike at slow speeds, which is, as most of us know, one of the hardest things to do on your bike is to control it when it's not moving fast. So it was cool to see that course and know about it. And it was also really cool as one of the Ottawa police officers, one of the motorcycle riders, showed us a demonstration of, you know, kind of some of the techniques that you learn. Now, you wouldn't learn them to that level that he was doing them, and kind of cool, and you know, not intentional. He actually drops his bike in the middle of it, you know, and he explained at the beginning, and I didn't record that part when he was talking, I don't believe, but he explains that he's very aggressive on his bike, and it's a big bike, it's a full-size police Harley, and he even said, and it was funny because he did it, I'm known to be aggressive with this, and don't be surprised if I drop this thing. And needless to say, he dropped it. So again, there's going to be another video of that little clip of the police doing circles, but it was cool. It was really neat to see it. You know, he scraped his floorboards a lot, but it's amazing him doing this, and he did a lot of it actually without utilizing his brakes at all, because you know, using your brakes makes it a little bit easier. So, but yeah, very cool to see, and yeah, it was neat to see these kind of demonstrations, because you know, the last thing you want to do is drop your bike, and if and when that happens, you know, and again, it was really neat, and I'll show you this. He drops it, and then goes to pick it up, and he uses the right technique that was displayed just previous, but what he forgets to do is kick his kickstand out, and because of that, when he flips it upright, it just falls right on the other side. So, you know, it's amazing what happens when things like that happen. You know, you drop your bike, you know, your adrenaline's pumping, and your brain's just not quite thinking right. All you want to do is get the bike upright. You're like, oh my God, I just dropped my bike. Whatever. You know, please, no one saw that happen. If they did, please help me. If they didn't, and you're on your own, you know, if it's a big heavy bike, say it's 900 or 1,000 pounds, and you finally have the ability to get it upright, which will take a little bit of oomph, and then you end up flipping it over on its other side, you get the privilege of doing it again. And that's never going to be fun. So, you know, as bad as it was to, you know, for him to drop his bike, and that's you know, it happens to each and every one of us, or it could happen to each and every one of us. It was great to see that, you know, even someone as experienced as, you know, a police officer, these guys get, you know, super advanced training on these machines. They drop their bikes. So if they can drop their bike, you know, the chances are pretty good that I'm going to drop my bike as well. And you know what? When it happens, it happens. Don't be embarrassed. You know, the best of them do it. And it was, yeah, anyways, it was just really cool to see. So, thumbs up to him, you know, for showing that. As much as he didn't like the bike, it was an awesome takeaway, at least for me, you know, to see that happen. And give me a little boost of confidence just knowing that, hey, you know what? It's not because you're a bad rider. It just happens. So, very cool. That's it for me today, guys. I'm almost home. We'll talk to you guys again later. Hopefully your weather is good. My day is looking much better. We got a whopping high of 12 degrees Celsius today. I drove all the way home and I'm not cold. So that's always exciting. And yeah, that's it. Ciao, boys and girls. See you next time. Later.